Hey, people.
Hi,
Party people. Welcome. It's the pod in the city.
Happy
Weekly
Monday.
roundup. Happy Monday.
I haven't seen John in forever because we
know.
Oh man, I was edging all weekend. It was the best. Oh no.
It
you
has
kept
been
canceling
a week.
on me, and you kept canceling right as I was like thinking about like starting to get ready. And then you're like, oh, don't hate me. I'm gonna cancel. I'm like, oh sweet.
At least it was a few hours out and not 5 minutes before. Right?
As long as you give me like 20 minutes, I'm good. No makeup is on, no bra is on. I'm disgusted.
Shit happens, y'all. Shit happens.
Thusly, now we've created quite the workload for ourselves this week.
Oh, I'm horrified. I'm horrified. Anyway, stay in there with us, people. So in case you didn't know, this is our weekly YouTube live show called the Weekly Roundup. If you're just listening to us over on our podcast places, come on over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, Pod and the City. If you're just watching us on YouTube, go on over to the podcast places.
You're not
and
seeing the whole
join them, baby. We have a whole universe, the Pod and the City, Anyway, if you want also hours, I'm talking freaking hours and hours and hours of content, go to our Patreon, babies. It's popping off on there. And there you really get to hear a lot about our real shit. I got a story this week that I've been edging Amanda on that story. I really have.
I know. I've been edging to hear it. And I'm going to read like the past few messages I've gotten from this guy that I went on one date with, and apparently I blew his mind so hard that he will every 6 months or so, like he'll just be like, oh, I saw someone at the store today. It looked like you. I was thinking of you. And I'm like, and he has like a wife. And I cut it off when I found out he had a wife this time. I learned my lesson from that whole thing that happened last, the year before. So I'm going to tell that story too.
If you want to do that, go to patreon.com/podinthecity now. Soon, if we can get ourselves to 500 subscribers on here.
We're so close.
We had 451 the other day, and then we got back to 450, and
someone was pissed.
I
think you can actually buy subscribers, but I was like looking it up, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to just throw my credit card out there, but like I would be willing to do that.
Here's the thing. If we can get to 500 subscribers, we could have basically Patreon here, where if you if you're not comfortable jumping on Patreon platform, you'd basically get all the same stuff over here. So it'd be really great.
Not basically, completely. Also, this week on our Patreon, and just like that, season 1, episode 6, Diwali. Have you watched it yet?
No, I usually watch them right before we
totally. I hear ya. And Girls, season 1, episode 6, The Return. It's a really boring episode where Hannah goes back to her hometown, but I think it's actually pretty relatable. You see a penis. You see Peter Scolari's 65-year-old peen.
I don't want to see that, or whatever Valerie Cherish says.
Yeah, no, that's the
quote. I didn't need to see the whole thing. Her mom getting banged in the shower from behind, like Miranda's mother. Isn't that Miranda's mother?
I don't think we ever meet. No, it's Miranda's sister.
Oh, her sister.
On My Motherboard Myself, the episode, and she's also the mom in Freaks and Geeks with Joe Flaherty. What else was I gonna say?
So anyway, guys, that's what's up.
And follow us on Instagram. John's in charge of the Instagram, and it's tumbleweeds rolling by.
What do I put on an Instagram?
Oh, you like post
kind of boring.
Funny stuff.
I don't like it. But something I do like is if you would like to follow over on TikTok, I've been minorly popping off for my Open That Doll TikTok channel. I have 634 followers now. I believe last week I had like 200 and something. So, we're getting there.
You're killing it.
If you want to just watch videos of Barbies, like glamour shots of Barbies, I am working up to trying some other things on there, but I'm kind of just getting my ground laid.
And what are you doing on the ASMR that we're doing after? Well, after this, immediately we're recording girls, then we're doing ASMR. So by the end, I'm gonna be
Oh, see, I was under the impression we were doing the ASMR tomorrow.
oh, that's fine. I'll do that too.
I'll have to let you know, because I have ideas ruminating in my head. Now, Amanda told me that I'm not supposed to address every comment someone gives. But I will say, over on our ASMR, someone did say...
this one was pretty trashy.
I'm not rolling in here at all. I have been called a reina since I've been a baby, which means like a queen. All right. So this person's like, this is trash. Whatever happened to normal masculine...
It was just an incel was clearly searching ASMR videos at 4 in the morning.
What I'll say is engagement is great. I responded back and was like, haha, thanks for the laugh. Because I was gonna write, no, they're busy. They're busy fucking or like sucking John's dick. I was gonna write that, but then you had already responded. I'm like, yeah. They're busy not getting laid.
They're busy getting railed by Joan. Well, the straight men.
Well,
anyway.
Well, that is, you know what? That is true. Anyway, yeah, so that's it.
Well, that was our housekeeping.
Oh yeah, oops.
What did you want to change that to again?
Remember they're showing pictures of Ariana and Tom's house?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay.
Now, let's get into the hot topics. Now, in our never-ending quest of being tortured by JoJo Siwa, a couple new pieces of this week. Now, Amanda, tell us about the... Go ahead.
Oh, well, I just saw... Okay, now, I don't watch Dance Mom. I think me and Jody have...
I didn't really
a couple episodes for our Patreon. Or maybe it's been requested and we couldn't find them. Either way. For some reason, TikTok thinks I care about Dance Mom. And so does Facebook Reels.
I get TikTok about it.
Like, if I'm watching a Facebook Reel on anything, that'll just be the next upcoming thing. So I've seen lots of clips. I mean, I've obviously seen the clip of Abby backing up in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, when the mother comes up to her.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, you also know the like, JoJo, have you learned nothing? Do you know that quote? Like,
yeah, no, I know all I know all the hits.
Yeah,
but I guess there's JoJo is. I mean, she's doing the whole Jennifer Lawrence thing, the Anne Hathaway thing, where it's like you need to. Anne Hathaway, I think, actually has rejuvenated her career.
I like her this now. Is on another level. She literally, I saw a video where she claimed that she was the person who originated people coming to their concert in costumes.
Oh yeah.
She's like, you know, I started that. Like, people started coming to my shows, like, dressed up, like, and that is where it started. I want to, anyway, continue. They're doing a Dance Moms reunion.
Yeah, right? Which I guess I just saw a clip where she's there and she's oh my god, I wonder if what the backstage drama for that. I want them to do like like they do that with the Teen Mom reunions where they'll film the drama backstage, because I feel like none of the girls would even. I wouldn't want to talk to JoJo if I were them. I don't think they do. And on one of the TikToks I saw about it, someone's comment was like, you know, they have a group chat without JoJo. And oh,
like,
100%.
You know, that's I would believe it.
But she's defending Abby the whole time, and she's like, I think she was right. Like, I was talking out of turn. I guess I kind of agree with her. I mean, I think Abby Lee Miller is a monster, but like, I had the dance teacher for Young Canadians was exactly like
we've all had a dance teacher.
That just like super like rotund now, and she would just walk around just screaming at everyone. She was just like such a bitch. And then I remember she would do this thing for the good lucks before every show where she'd go around, lick her finger, and touch everyone's nose and say merde, which I think means like bitch or poop or something. And I always didn't want her to, because I'm like, I don't want your disgusting fucking spit on my nose. Then I found out later that the other dance teacher there was like a raging alcoholic, and I'm like, oh, that's why he smelled like whiskey all the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. So I guess I'll watch that JoJo Siwa thing.
Well, I was assaulted by a clip that I'm not sure if this is new or if it's old. I wanted to play it on here, but I knew we would get like
immediately
burned to hell and back. Look it up. It's JoJo Siwa rapping Hamilton style. I'm not going to call this rapping. I'm going to call this like Hamilton style. Well, don't come for me. Hamilton is rapping, fine, but this is not like, 50 Cent. I don't know what I'm going for
song
here.
was it?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, she was both. Sorry,
She's like,
I had.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Can you do the thing? Dang, go. And then she's like, wonderful and lightning, very, very frightening me. I'm like, are you? And she's on a stage.
But she's not really doing anything because it's already kind of in a pattery rap-esque thing. So all you're doing is like performing the song, kind of. Singing.
How about all
you're
the
doing
parts,
Wayne's World?
But all the parts that Freddie Mercury sings, she raps or she just speaks.
Wow.
She speaks through it at that pace. Like, so,
do you want to hear her attempting to sing Freddie Mercury's?
No, but she compares herself to Freddie Mercury. That's her inspiration, y'all.
Like when she goes, ah! Ooh, she raspy today.
Okay, you just sounded like it completely auto-tuned. That is not what she's more like, ow! Sorry to blast anyone's ears out, but wow.
Yeah, Casey said at this point we just need a weekly JoJo Siwa update. I mean, honestly, me and John sat down. He's like, "Do you have any hot topics?" And I'm like, "No." And then he's like, "Well, JoJo Siwa." I'm like, "Oh, I can always talk about." I always see her.
Now, Amanda is going to just zone out of this next part, but I know this topic's controversial.
And then coming from the next room, so
but so there's this thing in California. It's called Stagecoach, which is like this country like music festival, right? And it has it's kind of like Coachella, I guess, that whatever. And there was all this like hubbub, like thinking that Beyonce was going to do a surprise performance at this because there was all this promotion at Coachella for her Cowboy Carter. There was, in fact, on the Stagecoach like ads, it said Backwoods Barbie, and there was like a photo that was like an artistic thing. If you look this up anyway, it ended up that they
thought that Backwoods Barbie meant that Beyonce was coming. Wouldn't they think that meant Dolly was coming?
Well, it's because I think Dolly was already scheduled, and Post Malone, and like these people who were on Beyonce's album, Willie Nelson and Post Malone had like sets like really close to like right next to each other, one right after the other. So people were thinking that she was gonna like go in between that. Come to find out, they did a whole fake out, and they basically ended up getting people to like go there, and Beyonce never showed up. So
well, that's their own fault.
Isn't that sad?
No. What would you rather attend, Coachella or Burning Man? I mean, they seem the exact same to me. All I can
definitely
imagine
is Coachella, because Burning Man, you have to like sleep in a tent or like
you don't have to. You can
or an RV.
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that? If there's AC, then I'm
at Coachella. I would be going back to my Airbnb every night that has a pool and a hot tub and all that.
Okay, so Coachella, you don't sleep on the ground.
Thank you, Krista. Coachella, because there's hotels. Exactly. I'm not. You can camp there, I think. I did go one time. My cousin won a contest through Volkswagen for Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, Jody has a picture with him, and he's clutching onto her so hard.
Ooh. They do this thing in Washington at the Gulch. I think it's called the Gulch. Is that what it's called? Anyway, oh no, the Gorge. And it's like a 3-day thing. So we ended up she won this contest through Volkswagen where they set up this entire area with that was all glamping. They had full catered food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks. They had yoga, smoothie station, like all this bougie ass shit because she won this contest.
Okay. And you went.
Amanda's like, what? I stopped listening there.
No, that story kind of like involved.
I was trying to say, I went to like a similar thing where I did camp out somewhere. We did have to camp out, but it was like not for rent.
Yeah, I would I might. Okay, so if the heat wasn't a factor on either like either thing.
Mhm.
Because they've done 2 Burning Man episodes on Doughboys where Amelia, the producer, she goes and she talks about it, and she's like, it's so, they're like, how hot does it get? And she's like, well, she like shit, she brought a bucket to shit in, and she's like, I'm so glad I thought of that, because some people didn't even have that. But she said it's like 115 degrees overnight to sleep in, and like the dust, like
Stupid.
you're walking around naked covered in dust. However, if the
Stupid.
heat was not a factor and I was just kind of comfortably cool the whole time, I would definitely rather Coachella, because I don't like music. Like I don't like current music. So I would rather get really high and like walk around and look at all like the art stuff in Coachella. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
naked. I would
I'm
like to
not
look
going
at
to
the
Burning
penises
Man.
though.
I think Burning Man used to be better. I think a lot of things used to be better. Coachella used to be better too, when things were a little smaller and less taken over by capitalism. But there you go, baby.
Yeah, I might.
USA.
Okay, I would go to
USA.
Coachella if it was like Woodstock people, like that genre of music. I would love that.
Yeah, but that would be a lot.
Do you want to? I want to talk about my weekend. So I've been talking about. I went to the Calgary Expo, and it
Mm.
was a shit show, and the organization was just terrible. Justine is going to write a angry review because it was really stupid. Just like the whole getting in, getting your pass, you have to stand in this line and then walk across the park. But anyway, the whole time I was like, the 2 days leading up to the expo, overnight my ankle started throbbing to the point where like it had never happened in the 2 years since I broke it. It was just actively aching. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I went to Shoppers Drug Mart and I bought a cane, and it's $30. And then my ankle started kind of feeling better. I'm like, maybe I won't even take the cane. I'll probably be fine. My mom's like, you're taking the cane. So honestly, within like 10 minutes, I said to Justine, I was like, if I didn't have this cane here, I would have to like go home and get it. Anyway, you want to
Oh,
see it? This is my cane. And you better know that I bought such a cool one. Look, it's all paisley.
yeah, my
But this is what I'm
grandma
rocking.
used to have that actually. Like, I
The same
don't
one.
even mean that sarcastically. Like, she literally had like, she now uses a walker, so she can't use just a cane.
Yeah.
And walkers aren't as cute. You know, they don't make it as
Well, the cane wasn't cute either. People were avoiding me because I was like hobbling around while Justine was.
they were like, watch out, watch out.
No, people were like scared. I was like, you're not gonna catch anything from me. My ankle hurts. But it was rough on. Justine said her body hurt too because it's just a huge concrete floor and your body is just like absorbing this. And so the big thing of this event was that the cast of Scream was going to be there. Matthew Lillard was going to be there. Skeet Ulrich, Neve Campbell, Dermot Mulroney, Jamie Kennedy. They didn't get Cox or Arquette, but Elliot Page was there for like the Vampire Academy. Anyway, like all these like super famous people. And the only person that anyone cared about was Matthew Lillard. There was like a 3-hour line, I think. But that's just like no one was there for Nev. If I jumped into Nev's line, it would have been half an hour maybe before I met her.
Well, you know, it's all over TikTok how great Matthew Lillard is. Everyone loves him. And they also think that he's packing.
He's super tall. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, by the way, Jamie Kennedy was like, I never saw more than 3 people in line for him. It was so sad. I've always said that I think one of the saddest things is like going to like one of these things and just seeing someone sitting at a booth by themselves and like no one's approaching them. It's so
Here's
sad.
the thing, they still get paid, right?
Yeah, I know, but still, like, yikes. Anyway, so Matthew Lillard comes out. Justine's like, I'm gonna cry the second I meet him. So, and I didn't really give a shit, but like, he first came out, everyone's cheering. And then just the con itself was crazy. Like I didn't. Justine's like, you're gonna be like the least weird person there with your cane because it's just all cosplay. And I actually kind of find it pretty adorable. Like I think it's really cute, especially when like couples find each other that love that kind of shit. I'm like, you two are staying together forever.
I love when someone has conviction in their like loves of things. Like if you're willing to go out there and put yourself totally out there, I think bravo. It's just like doing anything
else. And the commitment to these, because me and Justine are both wearing like running shoes, and some people were in like stiletto, like huge heels, walking around that concrete. They must have not been able to even move like their arms the next day because that concrete fucks with you.
Okay, but they're just Carrie Bradshaw. Duh. 3 months after her hip surgery.
in the one episode, I just binged the whole thing halfway through second season right now, but I binged a whole bunch of episodes this week.
No.
But there's an episode where she's running downstairs to like yell at her downstairs neighbor. And the way she flies down the stairs, she jumps halfway through, catches herself on the railing and swings off. And I'm like, you just had hip surgery.
Well, I think they're trying to say she's like rebounding.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw an article like just yesterday that said that Carrie Bradshaw is worth like $50 million or something.
Yeah.
In the show. And just like that.
That's how much
I'm like,
doesn't give a shit.
That's part of the problem is in Sex and the City, she was like
yes, she was more relatable then.
But now she's worth $50 million. Like,
yeah,
okay.
I believe her more being like kind of mildly successful. Like, you know, living
she
a little
wrote
bit
a
out
book.
of paycheck.
She, does talk shows or whatever. Can we show some of these photos or
no? Wait, because so we got in line. They're smushing us together. I was like and I did get a chance to sit down a couple times while Justine waited, just like on the floor, just because otherwise my ankle was like hot to the touch by the end. It was throbbing. I almost uploaded a picture, but it's kind of gross. Anyway, we're in line. Matthew Lillard comes out. Everyone cheers. He takes time to walk through the entire crowd, high-fiving every single person. And he is 6'8" and like still is like tight. Skeet Ulrich also looks great too, but he has teeth.
Well, they're in the most recent, or Skeet Ulrich was in the most recent Scream.
Oh, okay.
And he looks really good. Matthew Lillard as Shaggy did things to me. Did things. And him in Summer Catch. If anyone remembers the movie Summer Catch, there's a part in Summer Catch when he's like naked. John Candy's in that?
Isn't he? One of my Summer Rental.
I think John Candy was way dead by then. This has Freddie Prinze Jr. And Jessica Biel. There's a part where Matthew Lillard, I think he's like in a thong or something. And holy shit, when I was like 12 or whatever I was when that came out, you better believe I rewound that 50 million times.
Okay, so we're in line for I think 2 hours maybe. And then now they've booked this thing so that now the Screamcast has their photo op section. And so they had to leave. We all got like Post-its with a number on it, like 1 through 100, the people that were still in line. So then we came back like an hour later. And then they're like, okay, well, like everyone line up, just everyone with a number, just you guys are on this side, and then everyone without a number on this side. So we're like, are you not going to put us in actual order? And they're like, oh no, that's going to be too complicated. And it's like, it's almost as if there should be a system where everyone's holding a Post-it with a number. They could have just been like, okay, line up in your order. You all have Post-it. Anyway, whatever. So it's another hour or so. Matthew Lillard comes back. I'm kind of hobbling around with my cane just because I kind of got to keep moving. I can't just stand. And I see he's like walking. He like goes up to this baby in the crowd at some point and is like doing this whole like politician-esque like hugging the baby type thing. Every out of this point, the whole crowd is like, Matthew Lillard is the coolest guy in the world, nicest guy. At one point he screamed at the like workers and was like, stop pushing everyone together, everyone needs to breathe, because everyone was squished in so tight. So we're like, Matthew Lillard, nicest guy ever. So we got up there and Justine has bought the package for like an autograph and a picture, and I have not, and I'm so like weird and awkward. So I'm like, I'll just go stand off to the side. I'm like, I wonder if I can take a picture of you. And then this girl who was standing there, who worked there, was like, no, you can't. It's not. And I was like, oh, okay, great. But anyway, I still got pictures anyway. So here's a couple of the pictures that I took from the side. Okay. So here he is talking to Justine. It's pretty good pictures, right? No one caught me. Okay. And then here's her and Matthew Lillard. Right. So great.
See, he looks good, right? This is why I feel like he has a lot of dick. Like
he looks like you can like see it in this picture.
Yeah, I want him biblically, I think is what they call.
Okay. So
stay tuned, friends. Stay tuned for John's movie corner in half an hour. Because I'm going to be talking about sexy men, baby, lots of sexy men.
So Justine walks out and I'm like, oh, I'm expecting her to be so excited. She's like, he was just such an asshole to me. He was like a dick to her. You're not listening.
Yeah. He was a dick to Justine?
Yeah. He was like
Matthew Lillard?
Yeah. She said something like, oh my God, she made him sign something for SLC Rock. And she's like, "Did you enjoy that?" She's like, "This is my favorite movie." And he's like, "Really? This one?" And she's like, "Oh, did you not enjoy your time on that?" And he's like, "Oh no, it was my favorite." Like all sarcastically. And it's kind of like, oh, isn't that just kind of jarring based on everything else he had done? And he was playing Hamilton in his little station and like singing along to it. He was just being the nicest guy. He's hugging everyone, and then he was a total dick to her.
Well,
And now we're like,
according to her, she says he was sarcastic, not a dick. Which I can kind of see there
it
could be
ruined the
like
whole experience.
Maybe he was trying to flirt.
Lillard is out.
Oh, I would no. He needs to be inside me anyway.
Okay, great. Well, anyway, and then I iced my ankle for the next 2 days. Do you want to? Would you do you?
Wah wah wee wah.
Did you do anything exciting this week?
I didn't. I really didn't. I did a lot of work and other not exciting things. But again, in John's movie corner, I will describe some of the movies I went to. No, I think we should do What Are We Watching? Let's do it. I don't know.
You really seem like you wanted to do John's movie corner, but no, you do it. Do John's movie corner because I don't want to talk for it.
So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
We were on a break!
Have some remorse.
I think that I may be the voice of my generation.
I am someone who is looking for love.
Hey, it's Che Diaz.
Hey, it's Che Diaz.
We're going to have a new segment this week, I think, and we're thinking of calling it What's Amanda's Wormhole? Because it just seems like every week I just go into a wormhole. But
is that sexual seeming? I was thinking it was a little.
No, but you know what? I did have like
down Amanda's wormhole.
I did take a nap in Amanda's morning, and I had like a sex stream kind of. It wasn't really a sex stream so much as I had accidentally made sex plans at 2 p.m. with 3 different people. Oh my God, these are the people. One of them was Mae Miller, who I'm going to talk about in a second. The other one was Chris D'Elia, that comedian that got like super Me Too'd.
Ew.
I don't know why. Because I think I was listening to someone, they were talking about him when I was sleeping. And then the third was Bob Balaban.
I don't know. Well, I think I'd have to see their photo.
He's the music director on Waiting for Government, and he's also Phoebe's dad on Friends.
What? Girl. What?
That's about as sexual as I'm getting, but at least it was kind of sex was in the dream. Do you want to talk about Vanderpump Rules?
Yeah, let's get into Vanderpump, baby. So some interesting things happened this week on Vanderpump. Mainly was this big fight between Sheena and Tom, where basically Sheena's railing into Tom about something, and Tom's like, "Yeah, but," and she walks away, and he's like, "Yeah, but you were a mistress too."
Which
she was. I think Sheena needs to take several seats, and I think Tom Sandoval needs to stop talking for possibly 3 years. Please. He is so effing terrible. I hate that man. And I understand that Sheena was a homewrecker too, and yada yada yada, but that doesn't absolve you from what you did. And I would be like, okay. Now, I think Sheena should take several seats, but just because you did something doesn't mean you can't also recognize that that was bad and that someone else doing it is bad.
Yeah.
There is something
And her excuse was like, "Oh, I was 22 years old." And it's like, yeah, but you were still an adult who knew that was a really shitty thing to do.
Flashback to that. I actually saw a TikTok this week that refreshed the conversation that Brandy Glanville and Sheena had.
Oh, yeah.
Forever ago. Sheena claimed that she did not know that Eddie Cibrian was married. She claimed that their entire relationship, she had no idea that he was married. Now, I 1000% do not believe that. He is a celebrity, and he was a celebrity before you guys ever fucked, girl. He was in But I'm a Cheerleader. Did you ever see that movie?
I watched that recently, actually, for the first time. That Clea Duvall was in there. I feel like I see her
the woman from that, Kathy Moriarty, isn't that her name? I love her. She plays the woman. I think her name's Kathy Moriarty. She's fabulous. Guys, watch But I'm a Cheerleader, because Eddie Cibrian's in that too, and he like is a really hot like gardener type. Oof.
She's in Casper and Kindergarten Cop.
Yes, she's in Casper.
I think that must be. Oh, she's one of those people.
Casper's better than you would think it is. You could rewatch it now and still be.
Will say though that I fell for this too for 3 months, and then once again, that we're still married, but like the relationship's over. She's a total bitch. Oh my god, she's evil, and like that's. And I believed it too. I totally believed it. And then I also believe that he had gotten divorced and then not remarried in the span of
sure. This man, were you with a celebrity or
no? I was definitely not with a celebrity.
Like
that's true.
Google.
But I didn't look stuff up either because I just trusted him so much.
I would trust that someone says they're like ending their marriage, but from what I've heard so many times, time and time again, that doesn't usually equate to. That usually means they're not. I would say if they're saying they're ending their marriage, it means
did. This guy did.
Oh, so now he's ready. Are you guys ready? Are you gonna?
Yeah, we're still engaged. We were going to get engaged and like try to have a baby, and we like messaged Latrice Royale to officiate the wedding, and I'm like, we're like, if she says she'll do it, then we'll do. But he happened to be away doing like All Stars or something at the time, so like he never got back to us, or like he did like after we'd already broken up. So thank God. What if I was married with a kid? Ugh. I'd probably still be back again. I would have abandoned life.
Now let's really get into Amanda's wormhole here, because she's gonna go on a. I'm
gonna blast through this.
Lot here.
Okay, so Nick Kachanov, we all know him, we all love him. He was actually on an episode of And Just Like That with us. The stand-up that Che Diaz checks that box. Mm-hmm. And he messaged me the other day and was like, have you been listening to Handsome podcast? And I was like, I don't know what that is, but they had been coming, like clips had been coming up on my TikTok. So I was like, oh, okay, I see. And okay, so it's this podcast. It's with Tig Notaro, who's in the middle, Fortune Feimster over on the side, and Mae Miller, who I knew them from this clip that always shows up on Facebook of them doing stand-up. And they're like, oh yeah, I dated this guy. The worst breakup I ever had was in grade 3, and it was with Ian Peach. And she's like, do you guys know Ian Peach? And somebody in the audience is like, oh yeah, Ian Peach from Toronto or from wherever. And it was just, have you ever seen that clip? Doesn't matter.
I don't really watch a lot of stand-up, so I feel like
I love stand-up.
A lot of stand-up.
Okay, so I listened to this. It's only been up for like a few months, which I hate, because you better know that I've listened to every episode, not twice, but 3 times every episode. Sometimes more than that. And I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with all 3 of them. Their theme song is in my head as we speak. Chatting it up on the Handsome Pod. We need a theme song.
Okay.
So now you looked this up because you didn't know what this meant, and you were like, you like Fortune Feimster? Do you not like this person?
My favorite butch lesbian is Julie Goldman. I listen to Brandy and Julie's podcast. That's the podcast I actually listen to. I fucking think they are so funny, so bitchy, so my type of people. I love them. I can
always relate to Brandy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because she has like such bad IBS, and she always tells stories about that. And I'm like,
that's Julie, actually. I think.
Oh, okay. Yes. So that one. I relate to her.
Because she's like shitting her. She's my favorite butch lesbian, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, it doesn't mean that you don't.
She actually has. She's spoken on her thing where she's like, oh yeah, well, because she's an actress, or she acts too. And she's like, I think it's a thing where, like, you know, if you're a butch lesbian, your competition in Hollywood is what? Fortune Feimster, Tig Notaro, Dot.
Rebel Wilson?
I see her as a butch lesbian.
I kind of see her that way.
Dot, that one woman who was on Glee.
Oh, Jane.
No. Well, no, she's way. Anyway, so yeah, I think she's fine, but
I like her when she does Heather McDonald, and I only listen to Heather McDonald when Fortune Feimster's on.
Heather McDonald.
No, none of us can. None of
my
us
God, I
can.
think she's.
But when she has
Oh.
Julian Brandy on, she's great.
I've
And
listened when Julie and Brandy.
and
are on,
Chris
for sure.
Frangiola is great on there, and Fortune Feimster is just great on anything. She's hilarious. She's the Mitch of the podcast. But then I of course went into a whole wormhole. I watched Tig, the documentary. Now, do you like Tig Notaro? I don't see how you could not.
I think she's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm neutral on her. Huh?
Have you seen her documentary on Netflix? I've seen it so many times, just like
No,
throughout.
I don't really watch a lot of documentaries.
Okay, but this is pretty fascinating. This is a fascinating story. She was like diagnosed with cancer like 2 days after her mom died suddenly, just from like hitting her head. And then she went up at the Largo and did this comedy set where she was just like, "Hey everyone, I just found out I had cancer." And she, at one point, she like took off her shirt and like I think she was showing like her scars or something like that. And Louis C.K. tweeted about it, and like all these famous comedians were there, like Ed Helms, and it just became this huge freaking deal because everyone in the audience was like, "Keep going, this is amazing." Anyway, check that out. She's hilarious. And then the other is Mae Miller, who I find so sexy. They were in my dream. They were one of the three I was going to sleep with.
They look
in my dream.
Peter Pan or something. Like they
For
look
sure,
like they would
yeah.
play a good Peter Pan.
Yeah, but they also have a stand-up or a Netflix show called Feel Good, which is so good. I'm halfway through the second season. It's only 12 episodes, and it's so good.
I'm feeling like I may have watched one episode of this.
Okay, it's
that's
great.
About how I roll is one episode.
And Mae Miller is just such a. I mean, I would if Mae Miller wanted to like get married to me tomorrow, I would do it. I would maybe raise a child with them. Like I'm obsessed. I want them around me all the time. And then Tig Notaro also has a and that's pretty autobiographical. And then Tig Notaro has a show called One Mississippi, which is on Disney Plus, and I binged that whole thing too. This is everything I did this weekend. Plus, I did like other stuff in my life. Check that out.
Wow.
You don't care about any.
I mind melt out a lot. Like I play a slot machine game on my phone and not or just like sit in quiet.
You'll just sit in your house in quiet.
I could sit on my phone in silence with my phone on silent, like looking at TikTok. Or
I thought you meant just like without doing anything. You're just like,
I could do that.
I could never.
That's
pretty much it. I recommend all those things. But definitely Handsome podcast. It is so funny, and even the ads I will let play because they're cute.
Oh, because it's them, right?
Yeah, and it's not as shocking to the system. Like it's not like a weird. It's really loud all of a sudden, and it wakes me up. So
kind of like our sound quality. Anyway,
do you want to move? That's that's Amanda's wormhole for this week.
So yeah, let's get into let's jump out of that Amanda's gaping wormhole and into now. It just so happened that this weekend, this 3 days or whatever, I saw 2 movies in the theater. Yay! First one. Well, I'm going to tell them out of order because one of them had me so hot and bothered. I was literally clutching my pearls during the movie. Ooh, anyway, let me find the fucking pictures here. First one was called Boy Kills World. Now, originally, I believe there was a reason I wasn't supposed to see this. Like, I think it was being boycotted for some reason.
Oh, I love that guy in the middle.
Bill Skarsgård. Okay, he played.
No, not him. The one behind him that's in like everything. The one with the beard.
Yeah, he's
fine. A comedian. Okay.
Okay, I want you to take a close look here. Okay, so Bill Skarsgård, he got himself all worked out, all jacked and hot for this movie. He played Pennywise in It, like the most recent.
Oh my God. Okay, so I know that there's several Skarsgårds, and I was like, oh, this must be the one who was in the one with Reese Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman. Big Little Lies. Isn't there a Skarsgård in there?
There's an Alexander Skarsgård.
But I was looking at this picture and I was like, oh, he really does look like his brother, the It guy.
I think the face definitely is creepier, but the kind of like I would love. Oh my God. Girl, this movie. Now, compared, you'll see the next movie had more of my real, like my actual type here. Like, I want to keep the photos up a little longer. It's like, who doesn't want to look at this, right? This guy got incredibly jacked for this movie. The whole idea here is that I'll show you the big one. All right. His thing, he's deaf and mute because he was so his whole idea is that this lady next to him, I think that's Famke Jensen.
Is that the girl from Downton Abbey?
Where, with the dark hair?
Yes. Over to the side of the red gloves.
I think so.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Sorry. He's trying to avenge like his sister's death, basically, is what this movie is about. Okay. He's trying to avenge his sister's death. Now, the things that really bothered me here was he could not speak, right? Bill Skarsgård. And remember what he looked like in the movie.
Yeah.
They had him instead in voiceover the whole time, talking.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like they maybe filmed this one way and thought like the audience would understand what he's trying to do. And then it was like, wait, we need someone talking. Take a wild guess who they chose as the voiceover for this man.
Why didn't he just do it? He's an actor, isn't he?
Great question.
He's an actor.
Great fucking question.
Honestly, it was okay. Wait, let me guess. I'm not probably going to guess the right person, but like, is it somebody who would be paid more than him or less than him? Like, is someone taking scale for this?
No. It's not like it's like a Morgan Freeman type situation. No. I'd say they're probably equally. Maybe the other person's even lower. Wrong.
All right.
Drum roll.
Okay. Yeah.
H. John Benjamin.
I love. He's got a great voice. He's got one of my favorite voices. Okay, no, that's weird. He's Bob.
He sounds like Bob Belcher the whole movie. He's like, so what? I can't even pretend to do a Bob Belcher accent.
He's just kind of like this all the time. Like,
you're telling me this sexy cut ass dude is like,
that's weird.
So I went to the blah blah blah. Like, that was stupid and illogical. It made no freaking sense. Another thing that made no sense was this character. This character drove me fucking insane. I'm not going to give spoilers here, but every other person, okay, mind you, they wore this helmet for like half of the movie, okay? Just letting you know right now, they try and make this into some kind of reveal. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. She tries to wear this mask the whole movie. If you look at this photo, notice her photo. On her mask, it says die. Do you see?
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can
so
see it.
On that mask, there'd be like LED words panning across it as she's fighting people. It'd be like, let's go, or I'm going to kill you, or like
a bus.
Like as though a 13-year-old boy developed the idea of this character and was like, you know what would be really cool? Put a mask where it says like, I'm going to get you. And every other warrior, now this woman's abs are, like, if I looked like this, I'd be naked. But every other person who's fighting is wearing the exact same outfit, even the women. But they don't have a crop top jacket and sports bra. And she's supposed to be the most elite fighter. She doesn't reveal to being H. John, or is it John H. Benjamin? H. John Benjamin?
H. John Benjamin, I think.
There is no reveal to that.
Based on this, I just can't, it blows my mind knowing you as well as I do. And then just you looking at this poster and going, I want to see that. It's just a bunch of people holding machine guns. This looks like, why would you go to this? I've never even heard of this.
I think he's hot. And I had seen the things where he's hot and fighting. I also do really like action-y type things if they're like visually interesting.
Okay.
Great. This was very campy. Like if you look at the photo, it was very campy, but there was so many killings, which leads me to the next movie, which this movie, y'all, this movie is the movie you need to see if you like sexy men and you want to see them objectified on screen without like showing their dicks and like being naked. Just the sexiest a man can look clothed was in this movie. And here's another one with, so these two movies.
What is another poster with just a bunch of people fighting the fighter planes in the air? Why would you ever, from the director of Sherlock Holmes and the producer of Top Gun Maverick? Oh, there's a John movie. It's got John written all over it.
This was directed by Guy Ritchie, okay? And the reason I wanted to see it was because it has my baby boo, Henry Cavill in it. I love him.
Never.
And it
I've
got.
heard that name once, maybe ever.
I watch one like movie review channel on YouTube. His name's Chris Stuckman, and I think he's like generally. He said this was a like enjoyable to watch, so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Here is Henry Cavill. He has some meat on him in this movie, which, oh, wait, what did they? Wait, what? John went off the rails with his movie watching. You know what? You're right. I Justine. Now I'm getting like verklempt because it isn't too straight. Surprisingly, I kept questioning whether Guy Ritchie is secretly gay because here's
Guy
the line.
Ritchie, is that Nicole Richie's dad or is that
No,
Madonna's ex-husband?
It was Madonna's husband, who's like the father of a couple of her kids. So this movie is called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. All right. It's basically what happens in this is like during Nazi Germany, these people are like a ragtag group that go in and basically it's based on a true story that infiltrate Nazis and like kill like shit tons of Nazis. So like this movie, the other movie, they were like killing like just tons and tons of people. This boy kills world. He was just like, killing every person. This movie at least was like they were killing only Nazis and they would just go in and like kill a bunch of Nazis. So that, loved that. But here's the lineup of these men. Now take a look here. There's Alex Pettyfer. He's the one leaning here with his arm up. He was in the first Magic Mike movie and I was like, ew, he's not very cute.
Can I guess who this man in the middle with the pink is? Is he in Mean Girls, the Mean Girls musical?
No.
Oh,
no.
He looks like
he's way hotter than that guy in the Mean Girls movie. He's the least, like, in my opinion, my least favorite is the pink shirt. But so there's Alex Pettyfer. We have Henry Cavill, who again has a little meat on him. And he has this like, which I don't even usually like this beard situation with the handlebar mustache. But dude, up here sitting down is Henry Golding, who was in Crazy Rich Asians.
Okay.
The hot guy from Crazy Rich, the super, super hot guy from Crazy Rich Asians.
I've never seen that. Okay.
There's a scene where like he's fully clothed, but his clothing is like all soaking wet and it's like clinging to him. And and then up here on the sail is my new lover. This man.
Ooh, he's thick. Okay, he's hot.
Man. Holy fucking shit, guys. I'm like getting like choked up here. His name's Alan Richson. Anyway, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I've thought he was hot before. He's in The Reacher. Like there's a show called Reacher. Okay. And he's in it. He plays Jack Reacher. This man is like, he's tall and big. And he plays like, I think he's Swedish in the movie or something, but he's like a very lovable guy, but he's like balls to the wall where he'll just like kill, like he'll just like go like right in there and just like kill a bunch of people. Yeah. But everyone else was using guns and stuff. And sure, he used a gun some of the time, but this man, Guy Ritchie was smart enough to give this man a bow and arrow because this man was in an outfit similar to this one on the right and on the left here.
Damn. Okay.
And he's using now he's definitely on steroids, like heaven
so
and back.
Many
like,
steroids, like holy God.
But he's like doing all these bow and arrow things and the arms.
Painful. That looks painful for him to just stand.
Oh,
don't you think that it would just be pressure on your skin at all times? Like
I don't know, but I would definitely help him relieve any pressure he needs relieved. Is all I'm saying.
Not even 5 o'clock.
Now he like pulls the bow and arrow back. His arms are just like huge. There's another part where he's like, there's this humongous like chain because they're on a boat, right? And he's like hoisting this huge chain and like for not being incredibly homoerotic, it's called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. For being not that really homoerotic, holy freaking shit, guys. This team that they put together of men, casting, whoever cast this movie, thank you. If you're willing to watch lots of people get killed, I mean, they're all Nazis who get killed. But
now, I have 2 things to say. Really quickly, someone corrected me up here that I kept saying Mae Miller. It's Mae Martin. I sound like a fucking idiot. Also, are you going to see Challengers, because that seems to be the
I
talk of
thought
town.
about it.
So you had the option to see that, which Las Culturistas put out an emergency episode this morning claiming it is the best movie they've both ever seen, and you chose to see these
I have
two
a
action
hard.
movies.
I'm sorry. I have a hard time believing that Challengers is the best movie ever seen. Sorry, Las Culturistas, love y'all.
Me and Justine
but
are gonna go to it.
I
see
will
it.
watch it because I hear there's like a love triangle type thing, and like there's like hot homoeroticism, which is great. But these were more like ones that like just were like heart pumping type things. And
Apparently,
I think Challengers is
Challengers. It's about
really.
tennis. Yeah, how much more high intensity can you get?
Yeah, I think it's because it's a sports movie. Generally,
No,
I
it's
avoid
not.
sports movies.
I think there's like homoerotic stuff in it too.
I think they fuck. I think there's
they
like.
flip, too.
Anyway, guys, go check out these sexy movies if you like sexy men. I would definitely say The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. See that one before The Boy Kills World. But if you like quirky type, campy type shit, try the other one.
And coming up next week, we're going to watch Unfrosted, airing on Netflix on May 3rd. I set a reminder.
I'm not watching it. Amanda's watching it.
Yeah, you should. No, you're going to watch it.
I don't have Netflix anymore.
You can't even log into mine because mine's a Canadian account.
And I don't want to watch a movie with Amy Schumer and Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, there's so many more annoying. But I think there's some people that we like in there. Anyway, I'm gonna watch that. I'm sure it'll be hilarious to just like sit and watch the train wreck. And then also there's a show, a documentary, 2 parts, coming out at the end of May called Fallen Idols, where we're gonna learn that surprise, surprise, Nick Carter was kind of a piece of shit. Doesn't really respect women. What? No, he seems like a genuinely nice person.
What? You're lying.
No,
you're lying.
No, I'm telling the truth.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
It's time for TikTok. TikTok's been popping off. Now, I'm going to start off my TikTok with a... And now I'm morning blue. Here's my problem. I've talked about this previously, and that is veneers, okay? My main problem is not the veneers, but what's been, well, I think that a lot of people are going to look back and probably regret getting veneers because what you have to do is shave down your teeth that you already have to put a fake one on it, and they don't anyway.
That's so random because me and Justine had a whole conversation while we were standing in line about that. Like, people just look weird, and like that's why Skeet Ulrich looks so weird because he has
changed a lot of people's face. Like they can't talk right with them either.
And I just think it's unfortunate because then it makes people without veneers just appear as less attractive because you're so used to seeing these people with veneers. I don't think they're less attractive.
I think what's going to happen is that it's going to become that people don't like it. It's like how people are getting filler dissolve now and all that. And then people are going to go back and be like, look I have natural teeth. I have gaps. I have, I have a crooked tooth. I
have one crooked tooth and I love it. I mean, I
have gaps across the front and I wish they
I like the janky tooth. That's one of my favorite things is not a totally jacked up mouth, but I like just a tooth with some character.
Well, my biggest moan this week is the rise of veneer techs. Okay, I've been getting a lot of TikToks about deep diving onto veneer techs, which is basically like a nail tech who does veneers, out of a beauty salon or...
They work at Heather Gay's thing.
Not even. Worse than that. It'd be they rent a salon space, in a little tiny salon space and then do it there.
Teen Mom. Okay.
Really bad. It's literally there's a whole thing where people are offering a 2-day veneer tech course that you can take it for 2 days. And they say that you can then do veneers on people.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, but I am upset about this because people are going to be fucked up.
Oh wait, people so they're going to go. A person with a 2-day certificate, can now shave down my teeth into nubs.
That's what they're
That's
claiming.
fucked up.
They are claiming in this like ad. They're like, we're doing a 2-day course where we will give you all this and how to do all this, blah 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 blah, and then you can go from that 2-day course to doing veneers.
I don't understand why everyone doesn't just wear like a flipper, or like
I
why
don't
does everyone just wear
understand why,
like covers?
we just accept our flaws.
Yeah, just like who cares?
But I do love Barbie, which is the opposite of accepting flaws. So whatever.
Yeah,
It is scary. Don't do it, y'all. If you hear about a veneer tech, make sure that you're going to an actual.
I will say that show Feel Good that you think you might have seen with Mae Martin in it. They lived in England for a long time, so the first season takes place in England. And I always kind of love watching British shows. And it's a weird way to word this, but everyone just looks more normal, and like all the teeth in this show, like everyone's attractive, like they are gorgeous people in this cast, but they still look like they could live among us.
Well,
like even like the lead girl is like, okay, this is an attainable person.
I think that's why I like watching older movies too, is because people like their teeth are normal. Like they may have had braces or whatever. That was one of my problems in that Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Of course, there was one woman on the team, and she had to be stick thin. She had full face of makeup the whole time. She looked Botox to heaven, and she had veneers. I'm like, this takes place in 1940? Isn't that when? And she has veneers and plumped lips.
Yeah.
What? It's not. Yeah, I think we need to go back to just like, I don't know.
I would love that. Okay, let's see.
Ina Garten and Jennifer Garner
you
got
put
together.
that on our poster. It was literally just something that I saw like last week.
I'm gonna roast Amanda here for a second. She's like, "Hey, get the poster done," or whatever. She doesn't say it like that. She says, "Hey, you got to do the poster."
With 1,000,
like,
is that all right with you? Happy face! Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
I don't think so. But I was like, "What do you want on it?" And she's like, "Oh, it's all in the notes." What's in the notes here? Jennifer Garner and Ina Garten. So
that's the one thing you gave me. And then I said, "Hey, can you put some
asterisks next to the important part?"
Then you put, hang on, take this comment off. Then here, this is what I get for Handsome Podcast. Can you even fucking see it? Oh, and Serial Mom, which I forgot to talk about. I watched Serial Mom, and it was fine.
Here's the problem: is I had already worked way too long on that because I accidentally had all those images like blurry. I had to go find the image. I was already so fucking annoyed. And when I'm like, I read Handsome Podcast, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, and then I sent you a picture, and you're like, "Ew, you like Fortune fans." This conversation was over. Anyway, can I talk about Serial Mom really quick? I watched it. I get it.
This movie.
I like that it was only like an hour and a half. Fucking sweet. I get it. I get the style. I get why John Waters is like. I get it. I get that he's instant camp somehow. He's on that episode of The Simpsons where Homer meets the gay guy, and he sells all that campy stuff. You've seen it. Maybe you didn't know it was John Waters, though.
I don't watch.
Remember when Homer thinks that Bart's gay and Homer thinks that he might be gay because they meet that guy with the little mustache? Anyway, who cares? I gotta tell you,
I know plenty of guys who meet one gay guy and they think that they're gay for 5 minutes.
For sure. But listen, I just can't get over the animal abuse with John Waters. I just can't. Like the whole time I'm watching Serial Mom, I'm like, this is great, funny animal abuse. Can't do it.
What actually happened in the movie?
I don't want to talk about it, but it's horrible.
Because I've seen that, but I can't remember.
It's not Serial Mom. It's in Pink Flamingos.
It's in. I've seen Pink Flamingos. Is it like graphically murders something? Some animal?
Yeah. It's chickens. They like murder 2 chickens like on camera. So I like won't watch it. I just think that's like it's not funny. There's nothing funny about that. Sorry.
I'm gonna give him a pass on that one because that was what in like 1975 or something.
Not that long ago, babe.
Killing a chicken. Like of all things, I thought you were gonna say he like skinned a cat or something.
No.
Anyway, trust me, I would cry. I would sob my eyes out if I saw a chicken getting killed. I would.
Right. I've never even seen the scene. I just know it exists. Anyway, so that was Serial Mom. TikTok. Let's round up. Do you have any more TikToks before we get into the main event of the week?
Well, no, I don't think
the Ina Garten, Jennifer Garner thing. It's just that Ina did this little cooking segment with Jennifer Garner, and Jennifer Garner's telling this wacky story about Ina's like, oh, did you ever again Janelle Brown energy on Ina Garten, right? Don't you agree?
I love Ina Garten, and so no, I'm not gonna let.
If you
Janelle
kept watching
Fitz
Sister
have
Wives, you'd
that
love
one.
Janelle. Anyway,
She's fine, but she's no Ina. Sorry. But.
Okay, I'm not putting her on the same pedestal. Janelle's son just died. Jane.
Okay, so I should say that I should say she's Ina Garten. Okay, sure. She has like, Ina Garten
Jennifer, have you ever had to eat something in a movie and eat it over and over? And Jennifer Garner's like, yeah, and I do like Jennifer Garner. I think she presents as down to earth, except that she's like stunning and also.
I think she does a lot of cooking videos where she's like cooking stuff, and she's
like, "Oops, I messed up." I'm like, "Okay, you probably did that take like 25 times." Right. But anyway, she's like, "I did this crazy thing where like I was at a party. At each line, I had to take a bite of shrimp, and Ina, you'll never guess. By the end, I had eaten 22 shrimp, and I was like, 22 shrimp." I'd eat that as an appetizer and forget that was even part of the meal. Like that's like, and it's shrimp.
I mean, shrimp you can freaking pack away. I mean, I could pack away some shrimp.
But it was just almost adorable that she was like telling the story like this was gonna blow the world's mind. 22 shrimp.
Well, okay. I think this came from Ina does have a show on Max, and it's like Be My Guest or something like that.
Yeah, Nick recaps it on Good Vanilla podcast.
Oh, because like Stanley Tucci was on an episode. And yeah, it popped up in my thing, and I was like, I don't really want to watch this. Anyway, great.
Do you want to talk about Miss Peaches?
I do.
There was a gala. Oh, by the way, Howie the crab is still molting and still hasn't eaten. And Howie actually might pass. She posted a video like saying like it might be time, and you know we're looking at all of our options, and please stop messaging me demanding that I euthanize Howie. Howie's 9 years old. It's like all to like.
So he has to be euthanized.
Well, because it's painful for it to molt because it can't get out of its shell. It's too big for it.
Yeah, but what would they do in nature?
Well, it should have died years ago, I think is the point.
Oh, got it.
Only crabs are meant to live 9 years.
Okay, but the real important story was that Miss Peaches was going to a gala. And she got a custom gown.
Did you see this? And Dave Portnoy's like, Miss Peaches.
I saw the video where he gets the gown and like it comes in and he's like, oh my God, Miss Peaches. Miss Peaches. I don't like that man.
I know no one does,
and I just wish that.
Look at that! Look,
I know,
and that is a cute little.
This dog is perfect, though. Like
the dog is perfect. That little dress part, the little part, it detaches so that she can also walk around all cute.
Oh, and like the little jacket.
Yeah, the little bottom part you take off, so then she's just kind of walking around.
I think I'd like it better without the bottom part.
But I mean, she has to walk down the red carpet for the gala, and I think this gala is for some kind of like animal rights thing, right?
It looks like good human gala,
like animal. Yeah, it's for animals,
like an animal rescue.
Oh, actually, no, I think it's for the rescue group that he got Miss Peaches from.
Oh, nice.
So that's it.
I love Miss Peaches.
Yeah. And that's pretty much all I've seen on TikTok this week. It's been a pretty low week, huh?
I mean, I've been pretty busy on TikTok making my own TikToks. In fact, I have one to drop today. So go and check out my TikTok at Open That Doll.
I love the one you did of Jurassic Park because I could tell that you timed it out where there's a roar and then you like blasted it onto a picture of
I did.
Or Triceratops. Yeah, it's good.
I did. I'm trying to look for more opportunities. I do have one. Okay, so have you ever heard the sound on TikTok where it's like two bad bitches, I'm not a rapper, so two bad bitches, bitches. Like,
But I just remembered another TikTok I wanted to talk about. What is with this fucking song? Like the Tell Your Boyfriend song, and it's like, oh look, this girl with the eyebrow. What is that? And also the song is
it's about cheating.
Right, but the song is the exact song of My Muffin Top Is All That from 30 Rock.
I saw that video. And they played them back to back.
Somebody else figure that out?
Yes, someone was like, okay, this sounds like like Muffin Top from 30 Rock because it's like my muffin top is
Top
all
is
that
all that
whole grain, low fat.
low
No,
fat.
you
I know
want
you
a piece of
piece
that.
of that, but I just
I
want
just
to
want to dance. I love. Oh my god, 30 Rock is
Oh, it's amazing.
so good.
Me and
One of
Nick
my
did this
favorites.
really epic episode. It's still there of Squirrel Friends where we broke down, it's like a 2-hour episode. We broke down The Office versus 30 Rock versus Parks and Rec. And we had all these categories. And at the end, like 2 of them tied. And then Jody called in as an emergency tiebreaker. It was like intense. And
What
the
ended up
results
winning?
are not. 30 Rock actually came in 3rd place. But
I
we
could see that.
did vote that one as the best, the theme song of the 3 that you always sit through. Parks and Rec is good too, but it's long. But nobody's sitting through the Office theme song. But then it was between The Office and Parks and Rec. But I think me and Nick had also both recently just done a rewatch of Parks and Rec, so that won by like 1 point.
Oh, okay.
And then The Office was number 2. I would have thought it was The Office, Parks and Rec, then 30 Rock. But it could change day to day. Anyway, check that out. It's on Squirrel Friends
I like
Cocktail
Parks and
Hour.
Rec better than 30 Rock.
Yeah, it's good. Is that it? Do you want to wrap it up? We did write down that outro, right?
This is it. I mean, like for some reason, like I don't know, this week was kind of like there wasn't a lot going on.
No, I just had my expo.
Maybe I missed. Well, there was a lot going on in the world, but not things that we're going to talk about here. So
we're not
we want to say thank you for joining us on the Pod in the City weekly roundup. What we need you to do, babes, is like and subscribe. Oh, PATC Pod, where you're playing the music, right?
Yeah, but I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh, okay.
We're talking. I'll play it at the end.
Go to our Insta, and then if you want, again, hours, I'm talking almost days worth of extra content, check out our Patreon. It's really fun over there, and it's a lovely little community. We talk about a little bit about more of our actual personal lives too. So if you want to hear some stories, anyway, check it out at patreon.com.
Fat Lemons, yeah, you keep missing the lives, but that's okay because we need a crew over there in the rewatch category.
We do.
Like those comments up and like and subscribe. Please subscribe.
And you know what? I'd love to. Can you guys leave us a comment under the videos that we post? Just like literally nothing. You could write nothing. You could write whatever happened to masculine men. Y'all, we love you.
Or go to that post on the ASMR and just keep talking about it.
Yes, go on that and troll out. Swift Heart Rainbow, which I believe is
Amanda/Mandesha. Yep.
Okay. She wrote that they're trash. She wrote you're trash to the person.
Oh, good.
I was like,
there we go.
Love you.
Keeping it real.
So right, I love you guys, or we love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Walter, we're done. Bye.
Bye.